Hello, everybody. Happy 2023. So, for Everyday Crystal Magic, I have planned something new this year, or sort of new. This will be the first interview in a series about what I call the friends that we meet along the way or the journey, if you may. These friends practice different modalities of healing that are not crystal based. However, they have found a way to either incorporate crystals in their practice or use them in their prep to deliver this healing. I hope you enjoy these interviews as much as I love making them for you. And let's get to today's guest. So, our guest today is Helen Salinas from Alight Healing. And you might be familiar with Helen because she is a regular collaborator in my other project, the Dreams Portal podcast. Helen is a medical intuitive and she is been helping people for years now in her practice. I'm honored to have met her and be
Thank
friends
you.
with her. So, Helen, welcome. Talk
Thank
about
you.
Alight Healing, please.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me and asking me to come back and collaborate. It's always an honor to be included and to be a guest here. Wow, where to begin? Um, I guess I'll give you a little background history on me. I am one of the ones who was actually born. Uh, a lot of people say, I went to school to learn how to do this, but I was actually doing this from the time that I was very, very young. I just didn't understand what I was doing. I could, if I would hug someone, I would feel their back pain or their knee pain. And it always gave me that feeling of, I just want to make it better for them. I feel that they're hurting. I just want to make it better, which as I got a little older, led me into a career in healthcare. I was like, I'm either going to do veterinary medicine or, something, a doctor or a nurse. And I ended up becoming a registered nurse. Taking this forward, it was always interesting because a lot of people aren't open to the spiritual arts. And so when you're reporting to a doctor that the patient is having an issue that they're really not verbalizing, but they are because
Mhm.
they're limping and you see the signs, you feel it, you're feeling their pain and what it's coming through, but trying to actually to report to the doctor, well, it's in the medial side of her knee, about 3/4 of the way down. She does have an issue right there. I had to tread lightly on what I could report back as an RN. I'd have to get have the patient tell me so then I could document that it came from the patient. And there was always certain steps you have to take. And so moving forward with that, after a bit, I realized I could sense when they were getting ready to transition, when a patient was getting ready to either code or die. I would feel that difference in energy in them. And again, there have been cases in the media where nurses and healthcare practitioners have done things to create crisis. And I didn't want to have that type of doubt attached to me, but I was being hyper aware because I knew the change was coming. It's like you sensed it, you knew it, and it's the most interesting feeling of energy. And people have asked me to describe this change when someone is getting ready to transition and their vibration changes.
Please do, because I never heard the word interesting to describe that. I heard a lot of bad feeling words, but
Mhm.
interesting, please
Yes.
expand.
You know how when you're in elementary school and the teacher tries to teach you about polarity by putting two ends of a battery together, and that resistance you get, that is how I would sense that they were changing. It was that kind of resistance in energy. It's like you couldn't encroach too much on their personal
Mm.
space. And I started putting two and two together. I could walk past the patient's room and feel, even though it wasn't my patient, they were going to be passing. And it was funny because we had a joke, because as I would do charge nurse duties, I would say, nobody passes on my shift. Nobody
Oh,
dies on my shift. It's an understanding. And I would stand there and ground my energy and say, okay, I send this message to all souls on my floor. Nobody passes on my shift. And
Wow.
so we started doing that. But then I ended up getting an injury at work, and it was going to require a total knee replacement, to which the doctors felt I was too young and they wouldn't allow me to have, even though I needed it. So it allowed me the opportunity to go 100% into spiritual arts. So I took my background in nursing, my spiritual gifts, and combined them and began doing my medical intuitive work, which is where I have a client either video chat, phone call, or come in person. And we sit down. I explain the process. I said, I will ask your permission before I begin. I said, I'm going to have you ground your energy, just deep, relaxing breaths. And then I begin to scan you. And the images that are given to me, I look at your auras, which is the color of the energy around you. And I will check that first, your etheric energy.
Mhm.
Then I begin a head to toe scan and see how you're doing there. And then issues will appear to me. Any anomalies, it will flare up in red as to an area that needs to be addressed. And then lastly, I'll look at your chakras and see if this is a chakra issue. Is there an energy imbalance going on? And then afterwards, I'll ask the patient again, ground your energy, take, your deep breaths, and I'll discuss what we've seen. Sometimes a chakra imbalance, when we're giving and giving and giving and we have nothing left to give, if this comes from a horrific surprise, an unexpected traumatic, event in your life, it'll affect that root chakra. Well, a depleted root chakra starts drawing on your sacral. It starts pulling energy, and then that sacral starts. So you might start feeling just so tired, and your back hurts, and then you start noticing, wow, you know what? I'm having trouble. I just feel like my abdomen's always crampy. Next thing you know, you're having GI issues, and then you're catching colds, and it's because it's zapping the energy, each chakra going up, up. And if so, what we do is, if I see it's a chakra issue, I'll say, we're going to work with your chakras. We're going to help realign and balance. And a lot of times I do that by incorporating crystals, and I tell them, we're going to work with the energy of, these crystals. And I'll explain to them, I usually give them crystals to go and buy, or if they don't have a shop nearby, I will send them some crystals and, explain to them how it is good to use them and hold them while they do a simple, even if it's just simple relaxation, or if they want
Mhm.
to do a meditation with them, we'll do it that way. And a lot of times they'll ask for crystal jewelry, a bracelet to wear as a reminder to work on their energy. But it has been a very interesting journey, to the point where um, I have seen, how can I explain this? My guides have actually come in, and I see them working on the client. And I was like, because I'm just the viewer. I'm like remote viewing. And
Yes.
to see their guides step forward and direct the healing and take care of the issue at hand has been very fascinating to me, because I'm like, wow, because it reminds you, you are a part of something bigger, you know
Absolutely.
and so to see them, because everybody, you always hear people saying, oh, my guides or my angels, but to have the ability to see them come in, because I always tell people, it's almost like I'm the person standing in the corner and watching everything go on. I said, I'm just the viewer. But it's always interesting that if it does turn out to be a medical issue, telling their telling them, explaining to them, this is how you're going to go in and explain to your doctor where you feel the pain, what you suspect it might be. And that way they're not, saddled with doing, x-rays and CAT scans and test and test and test. If they can go in and
Yeah.
just say, it really feels like it's just in this area, it helps the patient too. So it
So
it has been interesting.
yeah, it's the whole process. In for our viewers, all the
Hmm.
information you can find it in the description box below. But
Yes.
I want to ask you two things. You mentioned
Hmm.
something in the description of your the first part of your journey
Hmm.
when you're when you were little, what you describe sounds like you are an empath. And there's a
Yes.
lot of talk about empath out there, of how, and I hear a lot of negative
Mm-hmm.
talk,
Yes.
as saying empaths are this kind of that design is out there just to pick up suffering and
Mm-hmm.
garbage, and it's like you're fully exposed. So that was one question I have for you before asking you, when do you first uh encounter crystals? Because I'm very interested in, like, how do you manage yourself as an empath?
Oh, very good questions. So yeah, as a child, sometimes I didn't understand what I was feeling. It's like you would feel so overwhelmed.
Mhm.
I remember uh, like an ambulance racing to a crash scene, and people are just, oh, they want to go, they want to do the sightseeing thing. They just want to be gawking. And me, I would turn around and walk the other way because I could feel the pain. I could feel the hurt of them, and just learning to, you know, I, to deal with that. When I got to nursing, I really had to oh, I ended up talking to Ebby about it to help give me tools to ground, because I was working on a chemo floor. It was chemo
Oh God.
oncology, and there's a lot of pain and suffering, a lot of end of life there. And she had to teach me how to basically put that bubble around me, the bubble of protection is what I would call it. Is like, it's like a protective shield, so that I can help them, but my feelings are mine, and just kind of separate. And I learned to take that separation with me, as I went through. And even now, as I'm doing my medical intuitive work, I call in what we refer to as the Christ grid, to cleanse my energy. And as we separate, as they go their way and I go that my way, to cleanse the energy and cut any energetic cords. So that way I'm not carrying it around with me. Because, in the past, I remember in my teenage years, I was actually having anxiety because
Wow.
I didn't, so many emotions in a junior high school, and not
Mhm.
knowing, it was just so chaotic. And I had to, I was actually checked out of school for like 3 months to just separate me and my energy to get back into that place. And then I came back like at the end of the year, of my eighth grade year, took the summer off, and then by high school, I was in a stronger, better place again. But it does affect. And actually, one of my daughters, I have a set of twins and then a single, all three girls, and all three of them are empathic.
Wow.
One is a master manifester. She can manifest it. The second is she's going to be a medical intuitive, and she is a very, very big um, empath. And the third, she's a channeler. She always has been. So I saw her from the time she was very little. I could see how she could channel. And so the second twin B, she will walk in while I'm doing a session, and I probably told you this story before. She'll walk in, and without thinking, she'll tap into the energy. She says, "Oh, I see their problem is in, they have a slip disc in their spine or something," and she'll just walk right by and just, and then walk again. So, okay, I have to go now. Bye. But she does. She has proven to have the biggest challenge with her anxiety and
Mm.
boundaries. So I've introduced her to, and all of the family here, to spiritual sprays, to using sage. If it's, some people are sensitive to scent, so I'll tell them
Oh,
use
that's me.
sage, lavender, like dried lavender, palo santo. But even then, like, if you're still, if the smoky, burning scents are too much, there are spiritual cleansing sprays.
Yep.
What is it? Is it I Love Love? That, I want to say they're in Chicago. I'm not trying to do a plug, but it's just one of the ones I've bought from. They have a really good one, a spiritual cleansing spray. And A lot of times it's easier if I'm between clients just to cleanse my energy real quick. If I have to go out after COVID was hard going out that first
Mm,
time and so
yes.
much antsy energy, I definitely had to come back in. I do, to people who need to cleanse their energies, Epsom salt, just that crystal, the
Yes.
crystal factor of the salt. I highly recommend
Yeah.
using that to cleanse and balance. That's one of my favorites, is using it that way. But it has been through trial and error, because even as a very young teenager, I was in the library in the they called it paranormal back then, the
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
paranormal section,
Yeah. Yeah.
looking for books to explain what I was, experiencing,
Trying to
things.
learn.
And I found crystals along the way. I mean, do you remember the
Well,
mood
when was the
rings?
first time that you tried crystals, and how the crystal got in your path, or how did you two meet?
Moonstone. Moonstone was
Moonstone.
probably, yes,
Oh,
Moonstone was one of the first. Moonstone and amethyst were the
wow.
two that I was just always drawn to. Just always, always. Amethyst would call me. And mind you, my birthstone is topaz or citrine, and it's
Both
pretty
of
on
them.
itself. Yes. But there was just something, the power that I would feel with the amethyst. It was almost like just holding it and going, ah, I just felt so connected all the time. No matter what I looked at, I would go right back to
Oh,
amethyst. Yeah.
your
And
first love?
then, yes, that was amethyst. And
Oh,
then when I started venturing a little more, there was something about moonstone. I always had my amethyst with me, but moonstone started calling for a while. And as I kept going through my journey, I started realizing at different points in my life, there were different stones that I needed.
yeah.
And as they called out to me, I started paying attention. And it's like when I'm hurting, blue apatite to me has been one of the best for inflammation.
Love it.
I
I
just love it. And,
beautiful.
I have some issues with arthritis, so I'll keep my, I have a little bullet size or a little point size here that I keep with me.
Mhm.
Times of anxiety, Amazonite. Does that not look like the coast and the water and the islands?
Yeah,
It's
the
like,
place where all want to go right now.
yes, I can sit here in my, when I'm upset with something or angry, and this will just take me away, just ground me. When I'm looking to meditate or I need more introspection, labradorite, those flashes, I can just stare at the flashes, and it pulls me in, and I have found more and more at different points in my life there are different crystals that I need to have and work with.
That's
And I would hear,
amazing. Labradorite is one of my favorites too. Oh,
I know,
God,
there's just
the
something about it. And even
beauty.
I've told, just holding it and feeling the cool stone, and but just the beauty of it, just the sheer,
Yes.
it reminds the northern lights, those
Yes.
flashes. Love
Yes.
it. Love, love, love. And of course, when I know that I'm going to be doing more psychic work on a certain day, I will have my clear quartz or my golden Lemurian, things like that. I'll have
Oh.
those in front of me to help me facilitate, and they just seem to help draw me where I need to.
So, so that is for you in your personal preparations. So
Hmm.
what do you recommend your clients? How is your client? Um, how do you pick a crystal to use on a client?
I'll do two ways. I will, when tapping into their, I try to ground myself before reading and connect to their energy. And so it's like I will be pulled different ways. It's like I will be pulled to um, lapis if I feel that they need more insight, if they need to work and trust their intuition more. I will be pulled to um, what is it, the is it angel light, the light blue one, if they need to work with their throat chakra, things like
Oh,
that.
it's a good one.
Yeah, green adventurine. If I feel, I know a lot of
Green
people will go
adventure.
rose quartz, but I feel more connected to green adventurine for
Yeah.
the heart chakra. I just do.
Mhm.
Um, we even get to people who are working with their finances. I will tell them, you know, pyrite, green adventurine, I said keep those in your space. If this is someone who has trouble getting out of bed in the morning and getting going, orange calcite, the
Oh,
sunniness, it's like you look at it and it just like reminds you of
beautiful.
every, yes, and I try to,
Invigorating.
you're right,
Energizing.
invigorating energy, yes. And so I'll bring them forth like that. And it's funny. A lot of times they'll ask me, what do I need to buy? I'm in the crystal store. What do I need to buy? And I will tell them, what is calling to you? Because
It's
a lot of
calling
I
to
said,
you.
yes, I said, use your intuition because you will know, your energy will know where you need to be. I said, if you are specifically looking for protection, I would tell them, well, I like black tourmaline. I like obsidian, jet if you can find it, things like that. And I personally have my children keep those. My husband, I have them keep them on them. I'll make them a little bag, or I even do a keychain and keep the stones with them. I said, that way you always have it either in your hand, the intentions that are set for it, and I said it's just an important part. But I do recommend to my clients, especially if they're on the road a lot, I will tell them, for your protection, keep your clear quartz, your selenite, and your black tourmaline. Keep those three in your vehicle.
Mhm.
That way there's so much road rage. There's so many different things that can happen in a vehicle. I said just keep them there for you, your peace of mind too. Not just for protection, but for your peace of mind. But those are some of the ones I do gravitate to. I see a lot of people just automatically connect rose quartz and love, you
I
know,
know.
and I ask them, what are you looking for in your partner? Are you looking for someone stable? Are you looking for someone who wants to just get up on a Saturday morning and go on an adventure? Tell me what specifics you want to draw to you.
Exactly.
Yes, I said it's so
Exactly.
important. I feel it's so important.
You know,
I do have,
you
go
brought
ahead.
up that rose quartz for love, and people come and talk about love, and I have a a blog in my website about crystals for love and passion, and I have
Hmm.
a video here in this channel about rose quartz, but I am not inclined to get into the subject of crystals for love because
Hmm.
what people need to understand about this, and I don't know if you find that with your clients, is that healing, like all healings, crystals is just a tool, but
Yes.
that goes beyond that because people want love, but what they're asking is for romantic love or the thrill of the um,
The fairy tale.
romantic sexual relationship. So the question always to me is are you looking for love, love in the sense of a higher emotion, an elevated emotion? I mean, I
Hmm.
know
Hmm.
I don't want to digress, but the point I want to make here is that probably there's a root cause of many illnesses and disorders in the body
Yes.
and disruptions of energy, not understanding
Hmm.
that uh, this is not just something that you uh, get for now and do it on the weekends. This is
Hmm. Something that,
is there's love in your life, and
mhm.
love is love for everything, what you
Yes.
do, your surroundings, the people, your ideals, your own person. But like I
And
said, it's a
it
broader
does
subject.
affect.
Do you how do you manage to convey this to many people that probably you've seen in your years, either when you were in the medical profession and
Hmm.
now, that are having, how you come to somebody and say, hey, you really have to bring some love to your life if you want to do a higher healing.
Yes. Oh, we do encounter that. I do encounter it quite a bit, and we look at the root cause. We try to get to the root. We do because I explain to them, you know, that feeling of lack. creates more lack. That focus on the lack creates. I said, if you focus on the abundance you have in your life, the abundance of happiness, you know, there's things every morning you can choose to be angry at 3 things or happy about 3 things.
Yeah.
And that will put you in the direction you're going to go. And so the more you have to be thankful for, the more you realize of what you have to be thankful for, the harder it is to focus on the lack of,
Yeah.
whether it's finances, whether it's health, love, job. If you can apply that theory, it's going to keep spilling over. And so I tell them, I said, you know, let's say, you know, we're trying to focus on happiness. I said, if you can hold the crystals in your hand and just close your eyes, the first 3 things that pop in your mind that you have to be happy for. Don't be sitting there, you know, don't think and think and think, just life. You know, I'm happy that I have another day of life. I'm happy that I have my home. And I'm happy that I have made so many friends like you along the way. I said, nobody's going to grade you on your answers. It's just
Exactly.
because everybody's journey is personal. And I said, by doing that, because, you know, I have so many people that come in and my health, my health, my health. Okay, but tell me 3 things you could do today that you couldn't do yesterday. Just tell me 3 things that were great about today. And I have them focus on that energy while holding their crystal. I have them, I do a little, I call them like mini meditations to help realign the chakras and help them. And a lot of times if I see them really struggling in one area, I will tell them, while you're doing these little mini meditations, have the stone in your hand, just as a physical reminder of the energy that we set the intention and um, the energy in it so that it's flowing through you. It's a reminder that this energy is flowing through you as you're doing your release and you're allowing the things you want to come into your life. And you hold on to it, and it's a physical reminder of the energy
Yes.
and the intentions you're set. So when you're talking about, or when I'm telling them, you know, I like the appetite for healing because I know it speeds the healing, and you're focused and you're putting that on your knee, and you're like, you know, I like how the cool of the stone feels there, and I know that it's helping. You're enhancing that energy. You
Yeah.
are focusing on the positive and the healing. You're helping that speed along. But it is a lot of times it is point of view and where you want to focus your energy and use these modalities to help. And you know, I do have to tell them, yes, I am a nurse, I'm a registered nurse, but I'm not a doctor. I'm not here to diagnose the illness. I'm here to help you as a mediator to tell them in the best way, this is where the problem is. And if it is energetic, then I'm going to give you the guidance on what we can
Yeah.
do to realign the chakras. You know, a lot of times, some people have been going through traumas and illness for so long that um, even your aura starts getting depleted.
Yes.
Instead of showing in bright oranges, yellows, reds, I will see gray. I will see like bubbles where the energy is just leaving your body so quickly. So I do
Tears.
end up, yes, I utilize, you know, 7 different crystals, and I'll explain to them how we're going to focus on the lower chakras today. And we're going to do this, and then we're going to build it up, and then we're going to do the combination. And I love hearing feedback. I always encourage everyone to leave me
Yes.
feedback because I said it's not an overnight cure. This
Oh,
is something that has
absolutely.
to be practiced and worked on. And so with the medical intuitive clients, I will have them do the first week, 3 days of meditation and crystals at home. You know, I'll do the initial scan. In a week, I rescan them to see how things are improving or where we have to put a little bit more attention to. And then the next week, you know, we'll do 2 days and allow them to do more of the individual healing in between. So by the third week, they should be feeling a little stronger, and then have them just do the maintenance work like once a week. You know, I said, your body will tell you, you will notice that change in you so quickly once you have worked with your crystals and your energy, and you feel that high vibration. You feel, and it's hard to put it, happier, you feel better, you feel like it's a, you know, you just do. And then
Transform.
yes, when you need to revisit it, you understand the change. You're like, oh wow, I do feel it. I feel so heavy. You know, you need that cleansing again. But I was saying, listen to your body.
Listen to your body. Wow. So you
Mhm.
have to do a lot of teaching in your
Yes.
healing process.
Hmm.
Are your clients open to learn, or they
Yes.
just want there for you to do all the work? Because
No,
I
I've
mean,
been
we
very
find
blessed.
everything. We find all kinds of clients,
Hmm.
and all kinds of attitudes there.
That's true. I've encountered two that I can think of right off the bat that were like, that's just a little more work than I want to do. And I was like,
Mm,
I understand. I understand. And if in any chance you change your mind and you want to revisit it, that's cool too. I just, so many people want an easy fix, but it's kind of like, starting a healthy lifestyle. You're
yeah,
not going to drop 50 pounds overnight. We have to work at it and we have to make the changes if we want to see the end result. And
the
that's just,
intention.
yeah, that's how it is across the board. But for the most part, I love that the clients I have met are looking specifically for a spiritual practitioner to teach them how to stay, aligned, how to stay in a higher vibration, how to stay balanced, and you know, they even ask about healing their energy from past trauma so that they can find
Yes.
um, a partner. And a lot of times they will use the phrase twin flame or soulmate. And I explained to them, first of all, I said, we're not even going to focus on those two. I said,
Yes.
we're going to focus inward, because when we are not ready for that relationship, we're not going to recognize that relationship.
Absolutely.
I said, so let's work on us. And I said, most great loves happen unexpectedly. You're not just focused, because you're going to miss opportunities. I said, so
Yeah.
you're going to allow it to come to you.
Absolutely.
I said, and
Allowance.
when your vibration is high, and this person who's coming in a high vibration, you, you will recognize each other. I said, but
Yes.
if you're in a lower vibration, you're going to be attracting people in a lower vibration too. So you have to remember that. So, once explained in a way that makes sense, then they're like, I get it. Okay. Okay.
I
And I
know.
always allow them the freedom to ask all the questions they want, and I tell them, I said, this is almost like going to any other appointment where you're going in and you think you know what you want to ask, but then something totally different comes out. I
Absolutely.
said, feel free to write to me, email me any questions that you think of after the fact that we didn't address, because it's going to happen
Yeah.
in the
Oh, yeah.
moment. I said, it's going to happen. So I'm always open to that. I said, because it's a learning process. We don't just do a one and done. It's going to take
Absolutely.
a few visits.
Especially
But
if the well, the person seeking the healing is committed to
yes,
the journey and the learning experience and everything. So it's yes, it's not a one-time deal.
hmm,
And it's not a matter of cost of treatment. It's the journey that each individual has to go through. So
exactly.
Helen, what is next for Alight Healing? I know that you do your live sessions and you have people all over the planet that reaches out to you. Are you thinking of branching out from doing your individual sessions into perhaps teaching, or I'm thinking way too far out?
I am trying to figure. I really want to teach more. I really would like to teach more of the modalities, because I think we all have the ability to, you know, heal ourselves from any past traumas that have happened. I don't know if I've shared this story with you in full detail, but I told you, I kind of touched on a little bit earlier that I injured my knee while
Oh,
nursing,
yes.
and I
Yes.
needed a knee replacement. Well, they wouldn't do it until I was older than 55, which I just recently had a birthday. And so next week, I will actually be getting that knee replacement surgery. For a couple of years, I had to have a brace on.
Mm,
And it, being human, I went through the realm of emotions. I was angry that I had lost my career. I was, you know, upset, loss of income, and so many different things. And I realized it happened for a reason. It's because it was that time in my life where I had to switch gears. It was time to use the knowledge, but in a different way. So I went from not being able to bend my knee, not being able to kneel, not being able to be on the floor playing with the pets of the grandkids, to being able to do all that now. But I had to work through so many of my own traumas as being a child of divorce, a child of an angry parent, a child of so many things were affecting, and this is my left side, which is, I say the female side and the male side. I knew that this was a lot of past issues with my own mother. And once I got to that point where I could face these issues and talk to her about them and share what I felt and actually come to the point of forgiveness for all of that. You know, forgiving a person for failing me and not continually being mad, I saw the benefits of, I was, instead of being so rigid, I was gaining back that flexibility. I was able to walk, I was able to do more. And so I was incorporating more crystals on healing me, on my the sacral chakra, the root chakra. You know, these are the bases of your childhood, your creativity, not being able to do what you want. And I started seeing myself do more and more and more. And so, you know, is the joint damage there still? Yes. But is it stopping me from living? No. I feel healthier and happier than I was 15 years ago, you know? It's like I can, you know, I have little aches and pains. It happens, and I'll grab my crystals and I'll do what I have to do. But it's not keeping me a prisoner. It's not holding me captive. And that's what I want for these clients to know, that, you know, our bodies are a vehicle, you know,
yes.
it's housing our spirit. Don't let the failing of the vehicle kill your spirit. There's still so much more. And I want to be able to teach people that we are a sum of many components, you
Mhm.
know, and when we can almost like step outside of ourselves and realize that we're this unique puzzle. But you gotta take care of the physical, the spiritual, the mental, the whole package. Then we're going to me, fully enjoy living in the moment and living our life. And I would love that opportunity to be able to teach more. I have started a little craft line of, like I said, of keychains, because people were saying, you know, I wish I had a piece of jewelry that, or something that I could wear when I'm out, but it's a little more inconspicuous because, you know, my family is so
Yeah.
religious, they don't understand what I'm doing. So I started creating the keychains, and
Oh,
for specific,
nice.
yeah, for specific needs. And so I do have those, and I'm going to be posting them on my website soon. And so it's going in a very interesting way. It's kind of like, okay, I'm listening, where do y'all want me to go?
That is excellent, Helen, and thank you so much for sharing your healing experience with your family. This is it's a great
Thank
story to
you.
close this interview, and that new product line that you're about to launch, that is excellent. And kitchen is very discreet, absolutely. So are the medicine pouches, the medicine bags that you
Hmm.
can carry discreetly.
Yes.
I say that we women are lucky because we carry purses and we can put stuff there.
Hmm.
But that is a great idea. To our viewers, all of Helen's information on Alight Healing is in the description box below. Don't forget to check it, book an appointment if this type of modality resonates with you, or you have a real strong intention to work in your healing. Helen, thank you so much for
Thank
this interview.
you.
We've been working together in different projects, but I never had an opportunity to ask you about your journey and what brought you to this. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and all
Thank
the best
you.
in your surgery and your procedures. And again, Alight Healing. Check it out, and check out also in the description box below everyday crystal magic classes and teachable. So until
Which
next
I
time.
highly recommend your classes. I learned so much, and I'm constantly, telling people when they want to learn, it's like, take the class. I said, you will understand crystals in a way you never thought you could. So
Thank
I
you so
endorse your
much.
class.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you to our viewers. Again, happy 2023. Stay tuned for more interviews of my friends that I met in this journey. Until next time, thanks for watching.